different streaming service because or live stream. It just shut off. It just completely shut off on my end. So, welcome back. Yeah.
Say goodbye, Be Live.
Oh, God. That was so weird. Anywho, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Which is also starring Miriam Hopkins, an actress who I love that I guess has inspires differing opinions. There's almost a civil war amongst film critics when it comes to Miriam Hopkins. Except when she's in Ernst Lubitsch movies, everybody loves her in those movies because she's a great comic actress. But she didn't get as much credit for her dramatic work. I guess there's just something about her style that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But I love her. So I love her in this movie. But yeah, this was the movie. Yes, Luke. First we go on too long on Friday. Now it cuts short. It just was gone all of a sudden. But this is the movie that I was introduced to Fredric March through, and it's known primarily for the transformation. Again, we went through one movie on Friday that had a legendary transformation scene, and this movie has a really, really well done transformation scene as Dr. Jekyll turns into Mr. Hyde, and we've had all these stories about duality that we've had. It seems like we're just continuing the flow from Friday in many ways, more ways than one. But this is like a legendary performance because he's really kind of playing two characters that are supposed to be the same person. And it's like, I love this concept. We saw Dorian Gray. We did the werewolf movie. We did Pan's Labyrinth, which has dueling worlds. And
we've gotten quite a few horror films in this month. This movie, for those who don't know the plot of just the classic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll faces horrible consequences when he lets his dark side run wild with a potion that transforms him into the animalistic Mr. Hyde. And they really mean animalistic with this character because
the makeup on his character makes him look very animal-like.
Like a
beast or something. But yeah, it's like he's not necessarily actually a different character. It's just Hyde is just the personification of all of your worst traits, or if you had no ability to control your desires or your impulses, that you would then become more like an animal. But animals also have some control over their impulses. So
it's like you're describing toxic men.
Really, pretty much, yes. In the end, it seems more
I can't control myself.
I believe there is a movie which is like a Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde. I forget who's in it.
Yes, that one's like a cheesy 80s comedy. It was fun. It's really stupid.
But they don't take it the idea seriously when they're like, well, like a woman wouldn't have. Like, is their assumption that a woman would never have this kind of darkness? The darkness that's in this character is specific to him being a dude still. So there's still an element of that. That is, I think, still a part of this story, even if it was just said it as a joke or in passing. Like, it's kind of true. Like, Hyde is basically the personification of everything toxic about men. Like, all amped up with no control over it. Like, it's just a free, wild being, basically. The picture you sent me earlier also was like, oh, I forgot. This is a pre-code movie. Directed by Ruben Mamoulian, who is known for being a very inventive director. He also did a musical at the same time with Jeanette MacDonald and Maurice Chevalier that he's filming, I think, either at the same time or shortly after this. He obviously had great range as a director.
Wait,
but really...
Merry Widow? Was it a different movie?
Before The Merry Widow, yes.
Okay.
There's a movie called The Love Parade, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
It's called The Love Parade.
Yeah.
Something like that. It may not be The Love Parade, but something. No, Love Me Tonight. That's what it's called. Love Me Tonight is another musical directed by Ruben Mamoulian. But he also did like a great version of Queen Christina, which sort of heterosexualized that Swedish queen. And but he had quite an interesting career. He did quite a lot of stuff and was known for these unique techniques in making movies, and you get to see just how good they are in the transformation scene in this movie. but really it's all hinging on Fredric March's performance.
Yeah, so obviously Fredric March won Best Actor. This was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Cinematography. Yeah, if you go on their the IMDb page for this movie, there are some really fun photos that look like there were some behind the scenes images, and it looked like they had a lot of fun on this set.
It looked like, I think working on a Ruben Mamoulian set is probably a very entertaining time. Even if they're telling a really kind of dark and gritty story, as you'll see when you watch this movie, like, we all have these kind of, oh yeah, we know all about this, I know what happens. Well, let's watch the movie again. Yes, definitely, Luke, there's some things that are dialed down. Obviously you can't do everything, kind of like when we watched Picture of Dorian Gray. Like, there was definitely elements of that story that were dialed down, mostly the more obvious homosexual elements of that story. I don't know about this one. It'll be interesting to watch it again because I don't remember how much they cut out. But I think it was, obviously what happens with any adaptation, you have to condense events and characters and things to fit it into a shorter running time. But I think this movie still captures the essence of the book.
Spencer Tracy did do a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then he and Fredric March actually worked together later on. So that's a fun little trivia that they both had played this role. This movie is available to rent. I believe this is our only rental until next week. So I know we had a lot of rentals last week, but yeah, this is the only one for this week. Make sure you watch the one from 1931 and the one with Fredric March. This movie has been adapted many, many times, so just make sure you're renting the right one, because that would suck.
It would. You want to watch this one.
I really want to see if this is on Canopy.
Is it still?
Let me see.
Check real quick.
I think I looked for it before. No, there's the 1920 version is on Canopy. That's the one with John Barrymore. I've seen that one. That one's fun silent film. Yeah, so please go ahead and give this a watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing this master performance here by Fredric March. And he's really an actor that I was kind of surprised reading about him today and seeing everything he's been in, that I can't think of anything that I've seen him in. I think I've just successfully avoided all of his films.
Despite the fact that he's in several, beloved Hollywood classics.
Yeah, and in the 30s and the 40s especially was just leading man, main actor. Yeah, but looking forward to seeing this. So please watch this evening and then join us tomorrow for our discussion after the movie. And then our main discussion for tomorrow for Director Tuesday is we will be talking about Ron Howard, another Hollywood I don't know if I'd call him icon. He's been around for a long time. Child actor returned.
He's a veteran of the entertainment business.
Yes, veteran. That's the best way to put it. Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds kind of shady when you say it like that. Oh, he's not an icon. He's just been around forever.
Well, I was going to say icon, but I know he's not necessarily one of Samir's favorites. He doesn't hate him, I don't think, but he was one that I had to try to squeeze onto this calendar for tomorrow's movie. Yeah. Whoops. Didn't mean to show that. I'm trying to get rid of that. So yeah, please join us tomorrow. Please consider contributing to our Patreon. Maybe we could pay for a different streaming service that's not Be Live. That's really problematic that this has happened. I mean, it's been a few days.
Twice in a row.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, guys. Hope you enjoy Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Make sure it's the 1931 version. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.